Welcome back to Tucson 2023. I'm Matt Wegson here for Shop LC, and we have had some phenomenal experiences, but we're going to dive in right now and explore a little bit of something that maybe you're not familiar with. We have one of the biggest power players in sapphires that we've had a relationship with for a long time. We have a really unique opportunity because we're going to talk about sapphires that come from right here in the United States of America.
American sapphires are not new. These deposits were actually discovered in 1892, so they're not new, but they were underappreciated, I guess is the best way to put it. Montana is famous for sapphires in North America. The biggest mine in Montana is the area of Rock Creek, and it produces a very large volume of sapphires of all different colors, primarily teals. Teals are the most popular colors. We're probably the largest producer of sapphires in the Western Hemisphere, that's for sure, and most Americans don't appreciate this is in their own backyard.
It's kind of funny how that happens. You think about all these other crazy exotic sources, but then when you look at the material we have right in front of us, we have the full spectrum of all these beautiful colors of sapphire. When I look at the faceted material, it's mind-blowing. It's just absolutely stunning. So tell us a little bit about, you said the teals, of course. You have some fancies that are out here as well. When you get this rock out of the ground, when you find this and discover this, what is it that you guys look for when you're mining to give you that, wow, this is going to be a great find?
Well, I guess it's probably a grandfather clause. We know that they're there because they've been producing on and off for over 100 years. And what we're looking for, the sapphires are not sitting on the surface, they're not there jumping at you. It's very rare that when we dig a hole, we actually see a sapphire. What we do is we're digging a bunch of muddy dirt, and we have to wash that dirt and put it through a processing plant called a jig, and that jig settles out the sapphires, which happen to be heavy. They have a higher density. So you wash these jigs, the sapphires settle to the bottom, we wash away the mud, the dirt, and the lighter gravel, and then we turn the water off and vacuum out the sapphires, literally.
When I'm looking at these, this must be such a cool process, because when it comes out of the ground, you wash it down, it literally looks like what we have here. You said mostly it's the teals that are coming out. Now, some of the pieces are heated, some of them aren't. You were explaining the process a little bit earlier. Could you go in a little more detail on that for everyone at home?
Sure, I'd be pleased to. As you can see when you're looking at these tray of sapphires, there's all sorts of colors in here, but the predominant color is green. But you do get some pinks, some fancies, some colorless, some natural blues. So what we do is after we've processed, pick them from the jigs and sorted them by size category, then we sort them and we pull out the fancy colors, which probably don't need heat treating, and we toss them aside for later processing as no heat fancies. We take the ones that are slightly green, and we use a heat treating technology that was developed in the 1980s, 1990s that allows us to improve the color of the stone, because there's a very fine silk within the crystal matrix called rutile. And rutile, when it's heated, dissolves into the crystal matrix and turns those stones blue and improves their clarity.
And when you get the final product, obviously we facet it down and we make gorgeous pieces with it. What is it that we can expect to see with all of us watching on Shop LC?
One of the wonderful things about our mining operation and our sapphires is the high percentage or high clarity of the stones. So the stone cutters who handle these stones like them because they call them models. These are nice models. In other words, the shape of the natural crystals is such that when they cut them, they get a very high yield.
They're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, and you said it, so the clarity is astounding on all the material that you guys bring to us. Now, we're talking about the right now. What does it look like for our shoppers in the future?
We limit the amount of production we have. It's limited by, the environmental requirements. Like, for instance, we dig a pit, we remove the gravel, we wash the gravel, and then we refill the pit, smooth out the ground, and then seed the areas. So that limits the amount of areas we can work at any given time. But also we recycle the water, and most people love to hear that.
Very ethical process, and it's something that we can expect to continue to see. But with the popularity of teal sapphires in particular, I would imagine that right now is a good time to jump in and get your hands on some of the top material that we have here in the United States, as these stones are only going up, I would assume, in price while they go up in popularity.
Well, it's, I guess, the old marketing, the more demand, tighter the supply, the higher the price, and this is no exception here. We have a product that's not only maintaining its value, but improving in value. The value of teal sapphires, say 15 years ago, was much less than it is today, again because of the supply issue. There was very few on the market, and so people didn't even know they existed.
Warren, if there's any parting words you'd like to say to our shoppers out there, our viewers, what would it be?
Well, I think you should own a little piece of America and enjoy the wonderful things that nature has provided in your own backyard.